Hi there. My name's Mike Fluke, and you're watching the File a Republic podcast. And in a few days, the Philippines is going to have its own digital nomad visa. And I thought I would take a moment to go over eligibility, requirements, and associated costs. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around and I'll tell you all about it right after the intro. Well, they've finally done it. The Philippines has joined the Digital-Nomad Visa Club. President Bong Bong Marcos. Good old Bong Bong. He longingly looked at the digital nomad visa offered by other countries such as South Korea, Japan, Thailand, even Portugal. And he thought to himself, I too would like a digital nomad visa. But is it any good? Is it any good? Is it better than a tourist visa? Or is the Philippines the latest pick-me girl out of the Southeast Asian Digital Nomad Visa Club? Let's find out, shall we? Okay. So he's really fast-tracking this one. He signed an executive order just a few weeks back on April 24th, 2025, and he indicated that he would like this visa pilot, just a pilot, to begin within 60 days. So you look at your calendar, that's any day now. So that's good. That's good. Applications aren't open as of the last time I checked. But if you open your browser and you go to evisa.gov.ph, create an account, and you can see if that option is available to you. So maybe by the time you watch this, it'll be ready to go. This visa, it's actually called the remote worker visa, and it's for non-immigrant foreign nationals. So you're not coming here forever to stay temporarily in the Philippines while working remotely online. Your initial stay is 1 year. It's renewable for 1 additional year, and it offers multiple entry privileges. Your maximum stay is 2 years. That's red flag number 1. The eligibility criteria. Pretty standard stuff for the most part. You must be 18, provide proof of remote work, show sufficient income from sources outside the Philippines, present a clean criminal record, hold valid health insurance that covers the Philippines. Highly recommend Safety Wing. They're pay-as-you-go, low deductible. Used them myself for many years. They'll replace your laptop if you spill a beer on it. That's kind of nice. That's nice of them. And during COVID, before there was a jab for it, they would cover COVID treatment before anybody else did. And I was a blogger. I used to be a hobo with a laptop.com. You might have heard of it. It was for digital nomads and passport bros. It was a resource, hundreds of pages of guides to making money online. And then I had some travel guides for countries like the Philippines and other countries in Southeast Asia, because that's usually where I hang out. So yeah, you might be familiar with it, but most of my readers chose Safety Wing, so maybe you want to as well. Link in the description. All right. Now here's the next red flag. You must be a citizen of a country that issues digital nomad visas to Filipinos and has a Philippine Foreign Service post in their country. Make it make sense. How many countries in the world have a digital nomad visa? Is this like my digital nomad visa won't work unless you get a digital nomad visa? Where have we heard that before? I think that's a silly requirement, and I don't think it's going to stick. And then you cannot be employed by a Philippine-based entity. So no taking jobs from the locals. That's pretty standard stuff. And then pose no security risk. Also standard stuff. Now, other than the little silliness from before, this is actually quite reasonable, although not confirmed. Excuse me. I talked about COVID. It's kind of like when people talk about going skiing, they have to rub their nose. But yeah, so you need a minimum income of a very reasonable $2,000 US per month. That's great. Like I think Thailand is much more than that. I think it's much more for a lot of different countries. I could be wrong. I've got the Filipino blinders on. I'm not paying attention to any other countries now. It's file a republic, y'all. But I'm so white. All right. So, and then visa holders are not considered tax residents. So foreign sourced income is typically tax exempt locally, which is really great for Americans because I understand you're going to pay tax to America regardless of where you are and whatever's going on. So that's good for you. And this is good for some other people, I'm sure, too. I'm a resident, so this doesn't really, okay. So application process. First step, watch their website. Find out when the option appears. Then you can go. You can start getting your stuff together there. You must prepare your passport. Make sure it's valid for about 3 years. Normally they say, oh, make sure it's valid 6 months or more. Yeah, hi, it's an annual visa. So I would say if you've got a year or two left in your visa or in your application and your passport, just get a new one. Just get the 10-year. Spend the extra money. Do yourself a favor. There's nothing better than having a one-way ticket knowing you don't have to go to an embassy for 10 years. So, so prepare your passport. Make sure it's valid for 2 or 3 years. But the requirement, I believe, is only 6 months or more. Make sure that you have proof of remote employment. So you have contracts, pay slips, invoices, etc., bank statements. Quick little note. I mentioned I had a blog. I used to be an affiliate marketer with that blog. I used to really enjoy that quite a bit. I didn't have an employer. I haven't had an employer since very early in the 2010s. I haven't had a job in like a decade, over a decade at least. And so I just wonder, what do affiliate marketers do? What do content creators do? Can you get this visa? Let me know in the comments because I'm curious about that. That's one thing I don't know because it's a little bit of a gray area for me because I've never, back when I came to the Philippines even, I came here in 2016, there weren't any digital nomad visas yet. I don't think Thailand had theirs yet. So, and then the pandemic and all that. So, but and then after you get all that together, you also have to have your proof of your health insurance and your police clearance. Then you can apply online and attend an embassy consulate appointment for document verification. So you apply online and then they'll send you a little note and they'll say, okay, can you come in on this day? We'd like to look at those documents, make sure that you're not lying to them. Anyway, pay visa fee. The visa fee is to be determined. On this part of the document, I wrote $200 to $300 bucks because I read that on one place, but I've read that it's as high as 64,000 pesos. And 64,000 pesos is about 1,127 bucks. And that makes more sense to me. I just don't see them only charging like $300. But I included both in the document, but when in doubt, just go with the higher number. It could even be 74, but I think it's going to be 64. So that's another red flag, in my opinion. And then you await processing, and it's likely 6 to 12 weeks based on similar visas. And then you receive approval, and you get your visa stamped into your passport, and then you're happy. And then you can come here. And then, like I said before, it's renewable after 12 months. Of course, you renew before it expires, your first year. Yeah, before your first year expires, you renew. And then, other people pointed this out too. Other people think this is stupid too. Afar.com. Many posts on Reddit about it. GlobalCitizenSolutions.com. And 6 others that ChatGPT pulled up. They all think that the reciprocity requirement is stupid. Only nationals from countries offering nomad visas to Filipinos and having an FSP are eligible. This limits the pool. I just don't get it. I don't get it. No local employment allowed. Dependent access unclear. So if you have kids, don't know. Minimum income is not yet confirmed. I'm assuming it'll stick there because it's the Philippines in there. That's one area where they're really good. And I mean, like I said before, you can renew your tourist visa back to back without leaving the country for up to 3 years. And it's cheaper than this thing if it's going to be 64,000. Like I actually, at the very end, I'm going to have a comparison. We're going to compare apples to apples. So stay tuned. Processing time, fee, and official port details are subject to change, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So monitor the website. begin assembling your required documents now. If you're eligible, maybe Q3, Q4, you can get in. Now let's look at other visas. So if you come from one of the 157 countries that's eligible, you come in, you get a free 30 days on arrival. That's awesome, you know? And then you can extend that visa from 30 to 59 for $50, or you can extend it an additional 60 more days after that for about $100. Unless you need an ACR card. After you come in, you've been around for a while, then they want you to get a proper plastic ID card with a smart chip in it. It's called an ACR card. So then, you know, the numbers are different. You can see it on your screen, right? Yes. That's as big as it goes, folks. Anyway, yeah, you know, so it's okay. So, you know, $50 a month, even like if that was the case, $50, like you're still, that's a lot cheaper than this visa. And then they also have the 6-month long stay visitor visa extension. The LSVVE extends up to 6 months, and that thing is only $200. And it's 6 months. And then $13.9 if you have to get a ACR card. And then you look at the remote worker visa. It's got all these requirements. They get a little nosy, you know. You know, it's $64,000. It's just like, it's so much more than the others. So is it $300? I might have to make a correction, you know. If there is a correction, look at the first comment in this video below it. I'll have it pinned if there's an update. All right. And then, yeah, then there's other, you know, visas that you're not going to look at. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? So far, what it looks like on paper, it's going to come out any day now. I'm hoping I don't have to make another video. If it is, I'm just going to kill this one and then make a new one. Let me know in the comments what you think. My name is Mike Fluke. You've been watching the Follow Republic podcast, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.